Let's go. Hey everybody, glad you made it. We are going to be talking about a process, or we're doing a process video here, and we're going to be talking about timbre, tones. Since I'm a guitar player, mostly talking about tones. If you're an electric keyboardist, you're mostly talking in dials, dynamics, which everybody does. It's the ups and downs in volume pretty much. These things add quite a lot. They're fairly simple. It felt like the next natural step for most people when they're writing songs. At least it is for me. That's why I'm posting it in the way I'm posting it. Yeah, let's go. I want to start with timbre slash tone. And anytime I say tone from here on out, it is referring to timbre. And basically that is just the sounds that things have. A violin does not sound like a trombone. A double bass does not sound like a flute. A Strat does not sound like an SG, and an SG does not sound like a semi-hollow. Or 335, basically. So, easiest example that you can hear, if I didn't just explain it to you, is right here we have this red track and this gray track right here. What they are, the red track is an electric guitar, the SG through a fairly distorted amp, and then the gray track is my acoustic that I recorded really as a demo, but I ended up liking what it was doing. Yeah, let's listen. So we're going to mute, or solo rather, the electric guitar. You know what it sounds like. You know it. You hear it all the time if you're a rock fan. Same for acoustic. Really, anybody knows what an acoustic sounds like. Here's it open. Dirty playing. But it's just nice, pretty, lots of attack. And body, too. I mean, literally, an acoustic's just a giant body with strings on it. So, two different sounds. That's all timbre is. It's fun to mess with them, though. That's why I'm bringing them up right now. If we solo the two of these, you should hear something if you're listening through your headphones, or even at the end of this video where I kind of do a rendering out of this track. What you should hear, or what I hear, and why I've chosen to do this, is the acoustic is providing a little bit more attack because it's not so squashed. Like I've purposefully squashed the electric guitar. And body. The acoustic's also providing more of that body. That electric guitar is providing a little bit more just chunk, really more just chunk. That's it. In time chunk. It's rhythm. It's a rhythm guitar. So let's listen to them together. And what you actually hear, because I don't have an acoustic electric to plug straight into my gear, is you hear the pick scraping against the strings. And then I'm palm muting the acoustic, so you do get a little bit of that body resonating into the microphone that picked it up. And then with the electric, it's just an amplified signal. And so I use the HX Stomp, all direct in sounds. I live in a neighborhood. Can't be too loud. And I mean, yeah, I'm just messing with them. If you listen to the whole track, so let's bring it over here. Let's bring it over to this last little bit. We're going to loop it for a second. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to pull I'm going to let you listen to it one through this section once with both of them. Take out the acoustic the next time, add back the acoustic, take out the electric, add back in the electric, and listen to it all the way through again. So that is why I've picked them. It has created a more round sound. At the same time, it still has a ton of energy, and it's going to get mixed better later. Production stuff, and that's another video. Mess with your instruments, double track guitars, even the same guitar, even then you'll still get different sounds that you don't expect. So moving forward, what I've also done, I got a little bored with just that straight 8th bit. So I have gone back and rewrote a bit. I wrote a part where they are hitting together, that they are in time together. And it just felt better. It was a better expectation to me. And then there's a top line there. That'll be discussed later. We will discuss it in the sense of tone when I bring out my Strat style guitar. But in the sense of now, with what I've got recorded, we're looking at right here. So setting up the expectation to hear what we heard earlier in the intro, and we're going to hear it about halfway through that chorus too. Right here, I went silent there to work on dynamics for this song. So while we're on dynamics, let's go back to the beginning. The reason I chose to do this 1-2 hit is because we're creating two other beats of silence after every 2 beats of accent, where the top line, that electric guitar, is playing something that is kind of familiar to the chords that we've already chosen. So let's listen to it. Creating dynamics. And then we get into a more steady dynamic, creating more consistency for us to be able to easily transition into the verse. So let's listen to these last 2 hits. That's it. We're just creating dynamics that are going to go down, because what we've actually done is we've actually lost a second guitar on that bit where we were listening to that lead on the top line. So we've automatically lost volume doing that. And the way that I'm going to be treating that acoustic guitar is also going to pull that down in volume. So we're not getting near as much dynamics as we were before. And that is setting up a space for another lead line, probably going to be vocal. We'll see about it. I mean, yeah, that's it. I mean, we're just setting up space for the next bit to come. And right now we're kind of in an A-B-A situation, with the second A being in a slightly different form. So yeah, let's get back to the timbre of things, the tone of things. So with guitar, you have many different guitars. I myself have I have 9 playable, including the one acoustic that I have. That one back there is an old one. My grandfather got it for me because it was his when he was a teenager. Not in the greatest shape. Big plans for it though. I own so many different guitars because I want to have a different tone for each thing I'm going to do. My SG ends up being my big rock rhythm tone. I have an 8-string outfitted with some Javier Reyes 8-string pickups, Squier Telly, Epiphone Wildcat, all sorts of things. I got jazz sounds, I got rock sounds, I got single coil sounds, I got single coil Telly, single coil Strat, which is what we're going to listen to now for that lead line. All right, so now I've got my Strat tuned up, ready to go. What we're looking at now is we're looking at single coils. Best way to think about this is a smaller instrument size in an orchestra, or if you're a guitar player, just single coils. You know what good single coils, decent single coils sound like. And I mean, that's just what we're going for. We're going from the fat humbuckers in the SG to the thinner single coils in my Strat style guitar. Now I can't lie. When you have an amp that is distorted, or really a amp model that is distorted as the one that I'm using, you don't hear a ton of difference, but you notice that bottom end is gone. It's shelved off. Sorry. So just to kind of give you an idea, the SG tone that we were dealing with is very fat. This is the same lead line recorded with the SG. We're going to solo it. And this is the Strat with the bridge pickup, same amp model, no other effects added. Little iTunes, new strings. There is a difference there. There is a brightness to this guitar that SG does not have. So let's record it. I'm going to bounce back and forth and see which one I really prefer. With the rhythm sound being mostly that SG with the same amp model, I know I'm going to prefer the Strat, the way it pokes out at the top end, because the Strats, their timbre is brighter. Their tone is naturally brighter. And we're getting it through the amp a little bit. And I want to mix these tones together because it's going to create, one, we're creating more dynamics when I add a third guitar in there now, because we're still playing the acoustic through the chorus bit. But now that I'm adding this one, I'm adding another level to the harmony technically. Same notes pretty much, nothing difficult, nothing fancy or jazzy. But we're adding another layer. We're adding a different variation on the chords, and we're making it thicker, which means more volume. More is definitely going to be felt, if not heard. Here we go. All right, so that's it. That's simple. There's one thing that you probably heard where it went a little bit quieter. In this section right here, you see it obviously with the missing little bit, and then you see the silence in the electric. My intention there was to drop the dynamics to create a more vocal, more focus, to generate more focus on the vocal that'll be right there, along with the part that is in the lead, so that they get just more attention, so that I can draw the listener's attention. And that's using dynamics and a very loose version of syncopation. Not really, but that's it. Editor note, edit out all the parts about syncopation. Syncopation will be a different video. So we have manipulated our dynamics. We have manipulated the tone. I bounce back and forth real quick. We will hear this one. Now I'm listening through studio monitors, but even in this untreated room, I can hear that there is more top end on the Strat style than there is on the SG style guitar. The SG is slightly more round and just less top end. I mean, that's all it is. That's all that you're really hearing is a little bit less top end from the SG guitar. And really, there is actually less bass on that Strat style guitar too, the Strat style guitar. So, what am I going to do? I'm actually going to go back. I do prefer the harshness of the high end on this guitar. It's going to grab your attention more when you hear it right at the beginning of the song. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to re-record that, and we are getting dynamics and tone handled a little bit for this song, this little demo. Yeah, guys, that's it. I'm going to go re-record this. Here's a recap. Have a good one.